Guess who's back?
You're now listening to Unapologetic, the podcast, with your two hosts, Trey and Reg, discussing any and everything unfiltered.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetic Podcast with your host, Reg. I'm by myself today. Dre is a little busy, so he couldn't join us, but I do have a guest today, the lovely Aisha from the Coffee and Apple Juice Podcast. How are you doing, ma'am?
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm doing fine.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I've been on your show twice, and I've been trying to get you on for the longest. We tried like 2 days ago, and we had some difficulties, and then today the schedules aren't matching up, but I do have the opportunity just at least to get you on, whether it's with me and my co-host or not. But you know, like I said, I'm glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your podcast.
So yes, my name is Aisha. I am the host of Coffee and Apple Juice, the podcast. We talk about a lot of things relationship related, but we also just have an open format where we can talk about pretty much any and everything. A little bit about me. I'm a Scorpio. My attitude is real feisty, but my attitude isn't feisty because I'm a Scorpio. Let me just put that out there.
Okay.
Wait,
let me pause you real quick. So you being a Scorpio, that means you're around a Valentine's Day baby?
Unfortunately.
All right, go ahead.
And it's crazy because I was thinking about that today. Like, dang, my mama can't stand my dad now. But when you think about it, I was conceived around Valentine's Day. So,
all right, go ahead.
But yeah, so I enjoy food, fun, laughter, dope conversations with friends. I enjoy all of that good stuff. So I'm just an all around, cool person.
Okay.
I guess.
You guess. How long have you been podcasting?
So I started my podcast back in 2018. I did have a partner when I started out, but that didn't work out. So I've been on and off podcasting since 2018. 2021, I'm definitely trying to be a little bit more consistent than I was before. But for the most part, I've been doing it since 2018.
Okay. What platforms are you on?
So I use Anchor, and Anchor uploads me to about 7 different platforms, but I'm on the basics, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I think I'm trying to get on to Pandora. I'm waiting on either approval or denial for that. Then I'm on like some of the podcast platforms like, oh God, I can't even think of the name. Breaker, I think one of them is called.
Okay.
And then there's another one that, like I said, Anchor uploads it to about 7 different platforms, but I'm on the basics.
Okay. All right. That's cool. What days you come out?
So I release episodes every Wednesday, and this week's episode or this upcoming episode is definitely going to be one that I do not want the people to not look out for. Some years ago, I was on MTV Catfish, and they just a year ago they did an update, and I just now seen this update. Like I didn't even know that they did it because the show wasn't about me, but I had something to do with it or whatever. But anyways, this week's episode or this upcoming episode, we're definitely going to be talking about that, as well as I'm going to be letting everybody know what took place during the recording and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Okay. Yes. Hey, when y'all get the opportunity, I will put all of her information as far as in where you can find episodes in the description, but her show is dope. Like I said, I was on it twice. I told her probably both times we did the show that she has like that ability to talk, and like it's just she's by herself, and it's dope because a lot of people don't possess that. And even just in the podcasting world, I think like when you look at the Colin Cowherds and what's the other guy that just not took over Spotify, but got the big Joe Rogan, like they can actually have a show without even a host there, and like talking. It's like they're actually talking to someone. And I mean, and you definitely have that ability. Like that was dope to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So when it comes to me recording, I already look at my show. I don't even have a whole lot of listeners. Okay. Like I haven't reached, Joe Budden level in podcasting. I don't have thousands and millions of listeners. But for the listeners that I do have, I like to make them feel as if I'm talking directly to you.
Okay.
So that's how I like to make my listeners feel. I've adapted that technique to where when I'm recording, I'm talking to my listeners. Y'all listening to me, so I'm talking to y'all, So it's definitely something that I kind of grasped and, just taking over with. Like I've that's what I do. Yeah. That's what I do.
It's good though. That's a good quality, good talent. I don't know. I think I'm gonna work on that one day. Like honestly, I don't know if I could just like hit record and just like have some topics and just talk and talk and talk. But
it's really difficult. It's really difficult. I cannot stand recording by myself. I hate it. Like, so I already have a debatable personality to a certain extent. So it's like I be wanting somebody I can go back and forth with and talk about things with, because when it's just me, you only hear my point of view.
Okay.
And I want my listeners to hear my point of view, his point of view, her point of view. So that's why I get in the habit of having guests on my show a lot. But so I don't like recording by myself. So what I do is I just I call them mostly rants a little bit. Like if I'm on a mic by myself and I'm talking about something that happened in the media or something, I'm more so just sharing my point of view. But like I said, I don't really care for it to just be my point of view. I'd rather have a guest or a co-host that we both can share our different opinions on, whatever the topic may be.
Yeah. All right. So coincidentally enough, some of the things that we're going to talk about, I guess, happen to be kind of relationship man and woman based. Coming off of yesterday, Valentine's Day. What's today? Is today like side piece day or plan B day? What day is it?
It's funny you say that because I just looked down at my CVS bag on the floor. But today is like, the Valentine's days for the girlfriends on the outside of the relationship. Of course I would never, but
hello, it's Shirley days.
Okay. Barbara's day was yesterday. Today is Shirley day. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, that's what today is.
So did you do anything special for Valentine's Day?
I actually did. I didn't have a Valentine. I had, how you had like a little sneaky link.
Okay. All right.
I had a little sneaky link. Okay. And I can't even believe I just admitted that. Oh my God. But I didn't do anything major for Valentine's Day. And it's crazy because the events that took place yesterday wasn't because of Valentine's Day. It was just because it had been a minute and we were both available. Okay. But
moment of week.
So but no, I didn't do anything special. I was actually kid free. I had the house to myself all weekend. So I was really just in here like just vibing, like I had my music playing, my night lights was on, I had me a glass of wine, my little lingerie, like I was just chilling by myself.
You had a whole ambiance.
Listen, I set the mood in here, okay? So I was really just chilling by myself. I've been single for a while now, and I'm okay with being single. So
you should talk about that.
I'm like, don't get me wrong, I would love to be in a relationship, because there do be times where I desire the feeling that a relationship give me, or but I'm so at peace with just being in my space and just I've grown to love being by myself, because it's like I have an attitude where I can't trust everybody. I can't trust people in my space. I'm so comfortable with where my energy lies right now. So it's like, I'm okay with being alone. I've accepted the fact that I'm alone and I'm okay with that. I'll have somebody come over and scratch my feet every now and again. But listen, what you finna do after this?
Scratch your feet. So
what you finna do after this? Because I got, you can't, ain't no spending the night. Leave your spend the night bag in the car. I'm okay with, I'm just so in love with my space and my peace. I'm actually okay with being by myself.
That's understandable. I'm that way sometimes. So just real quick. So as you being single for a while, do you find it a little more harder to, I guess, date men for far as in just having your space? Because you might want to be in that I guess, position to where, like you said, you come over for an hour or two, we can chill, we can watch movies, but then you gotta get the hell up out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though you might want companionship every now and then, you might want to wake up, you know, with somebody, you know, with that morning wood pressed against your back.
Mm. So here's my thing. So yes, I've been single for a while now, and in the midst of me being single, I have grown to be okay with being single, and I'm used to being by myself. My issue with dating is that in the time that I was by myself, I've learned my value. Okay. And when you really learn your value, there's no way that I'm gonna buy a cheap outfit at a Saks and Fifth, or let me rephrase that. There's no way I'm going to settle for just anything, because I know my worth and I know my value. So in the midst of me being single, I've glowed up. Let's just say that. And so when it comes to me dating, I want somebody on my level or on a higher level than me who can help me get to his level. Okay. My issue with my partners in my past was that I was too busy trying to help y'all get to my level, but y'all was okay with being on the level that y'all was on. And it's, so that was the issue that I dealt with my partners in my past. I'm not doing that no more. I shouldn't have to settle, especially when I know what I bring to the table. I shouldn't have to settle. So it's like dating now it can be really frustrating, because the guys, the available men that is around me aren't what I'm looking for as somebody that I don't want to date.
Okay. So fellas, y'all heard that she's single and she's kind of a Jill of all trades. I looked at her.
Okay.
I looked at her bio.
Okay.
And she massage, she bartend, she podcast, she do
I do a little bit of everything. Shit,
guys. She
do a little bit of everything.
Me, I didn't have no Valentines. I didn't even do shit. I sat here, I chilled. Actually, I was my daughter, she lives about an hour from here. I was gonna ride down there and give her and my grandbaby cards and flowers that I have for them.
Don't tell nobody else but God that you is somebody's granddaddy, because you don't look like you even have a child old enough to have kids.
Not all the time, but yeah, my grandbaby. But you're kind of in the same area. You're only like a couple hours away, so you're probably experiencing the same weather. It's raining, it's cold, and I just didn't feel like getting in all that shit. And then she had to work too, so for the most part, I just chilled. I didn't do anything at all.
You should have called me. We could have like hopped on Zoom, watched a couple movies together, ordered some takeout, and we could have did this shit together. Because I wasn't doing nothing either.
You know what? So. That is a good idea, because everything is virtual day. We could have had a big ass Zoom party. Just add a bunch of lonely single ass people and watch.
I ordered these cards from this company online, Ace Metaphor, and they're like, tonight let's talk the card game. So like when I see little stuff pop up on my social media, I be ordering it to support. And they're like little cards where it asks you a question and you can just kind of answer them, little game night cards. So next time you bored and you don't have nothing to do, Zoom me and we can get this little party started. Okay.
Absolutely. Listen, I got some things. I do like Taco Tuesdays virtual. We be taking shots and just talking shit. I got a bunch of stuff. But so why you didn't really plug the cards, but that's interesting. So, cause I'm gonna get the info for you. But you just made me think about something before we even like really get started, even though we've been started. But I saw on Twitter this girl had her boyfriend had bought her some candles, and on the like it's this black company, two guys, I guess they started this candle company. I think they're out in Texas. But on the label of the candle, it has a picture of the couple. And then on the back label, it has like one of the barcode scanners, what is it, QR scanner? It had one, it said scan this for oldies, scan this for new music, and it's R&B. So it was like
that sounds so that's dope.
It's like a playlist that he actually curated with like oldie slow music. And it's basically like When You Think of Me, play, scan one of them, play.
That's dope. And I love candles. Please send me that link, because I love candles.
Yeah, I'll message to you. That's kind of dope. But so to get into it, you kind of hit on dating. So I was thinking like how hard or easy is it these days for, I guess, men and women in these streets, just as far as dating?
So anytime you trying to come out the streets and get into a relationship, it's gonna be hard because one, you're in the streets. So we already see you as somebody that's just living their old hot girl summer, you know. So it's already hard for me to come out the streets and try to find somebody. But then so I just recently purchased my home. So it's like now I'm trying to make sure that the person who I do choose ain't homeless or don't need to use my car or, you know, don't need to borrow no money from me. Like those are the things that I'm going through when it comes to dating. Like I'm trying to make sure that I don't jump into my old habits of picking the wrong guy.
Okay.
Disclaimer to your watchers. I'm looking at him on the screen. I'm not looking at the camera. It's really hard. So I do apologize.
You good.
But yeah, so it's like my problem with coming out the streets is that I'm trying my hardest not to pick the wrong guy, you know, like ladies, we fall victim to him being everything we want in a man in the beginning. As soon as we let him spend the night, girl, he just get to act it up. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't let the wrong one spend a night, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I kind of touched on that topic probably a couple episodes ago with my co-host. That's when I had two at a time, and it was the term homosexual was brought up, and I definitely want to get into that. But I think I need like a woman platform to talk about that because like well, guys I associate with or hang out with, I don't know like guys that don't have their own place or their own car, but I hear that so much from other women. Like, nah, these niggas out here looking for a place to stay or they need a car to drive, and I'm just like, where y'all finding these? Like, where y'all finding these niggas at? But
see,
that's a conversation.
It's our demographic and it's our area. You're in Georgia. Georgia is basically a black-owned state, you know, quote unquote. Like, you know, you got more black men that are on their shit in Georgia than you do here where I'm from. I'm not gonna say where I'm from because I don't need nobody attacking me. Fellas, listen, I love y'all. I told y'all years ago, I'm not gonna down y'all. I'm not talking no shit. But let's just put the facts out there. There are more successful men in Georgia than black men in Georgia than there are in the state that I'm from. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that there are not successful men where I'm from, but what I am saying is there aren't that many successful men around me. So I thought I changed my area, you know, but apparently, first let me also say that I haven't really took the initiative to get out and meet people in my area too. So I think that's one of my problems. But from the ones that are, you know, jumping in my DMs, they just not successful enough.
Okay. All right. I get you. So as far as I guess converting over from the streets, I find I don't know. I do think it's a little difficult. Just far as in the direction you want to go, because I like to know intentions first when dating. You know, what's our intentions? What are we doing? What are you looking for? How are we gonna get there? You know, and I'm a big communication person. If we can't talk, we can't communicate, you can't articulate yourself to me, you know, in a sense to where I feel like it's conducive to any kind of, you know, problem that we may have relationship wise, then I think it's kind of a red flag, a big red flag to me. And even
because we're not kids.
Huh? Yeah, absolutely.
We're not kids, you know. So if we can't sit down and have a conversation about it, you know, like that's definitely a red flag.
And even just I like to be challenged mentally at times too. Make me think, make me dig a little deeper, make me see things on a broader spectrum, you know, different outside of my views. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stuck in my ways or my views, but I mean, there are different opinions out there. So yeah, but so even going into that, and it's just so many different factors and layers of dating, i.e. the always conversation of, like you said, standards. We all have different standards, and you know, you have the women that want XYZ. Hey, are you paying my bills? Are you doing this? who am I in competition with? If I'm in competition with anybody, are you open dating? Like, are you when do you stop entertaining other people? When you start entertaining like one person that you want to get you know, have the intimate connection with. So I don't, it's just so many different factors. And I'd say that because there was a point in time to where you could expect certain things from women, but these days a lot of women are playing the role of a man too. Like they really out here in these streets like niggas too. You know what I'm saying? They might have the guy that brings them lunch, and then the guy that brings them dinner.
The food bay,
yeah,
the Uber bay,
yeah,
the beefcake bay.
right,
like,
right.
trust me, I
Right,
know.
right. The guy that just
I
come
know.
over and want to eat it. The guy that come over and actually like get sex. The guy, it might be
The
five or
guy
six.
that come over to keep you company when you
Yeah,
bored, the one you text. Like, yes, trust me, I know.
and it might be
I
10 of them
definitely
that
know.
getting Good Morning King text messages. So I mean,
I mean, because she probably got y'all all copied and paste and just sending it, like we getting clever now. And I just think that just comes from years of being drugged by men. We, like I say all the time, this whole self-love era where we really started to get in tune with ourselves, like that's some dangerous mess, because it's like now I done pick myself up and dusted myself off. I'm not finna fall for that shit no more. Like, what?
Yeah.
You can't hit me with that same game you hit me with a couple years ago. Like, I'm good.
So, but I think with that, it makes it a little harder too, because when you do meet that sincere guy or sincere girl, excuse me, it can come to the point to where they are competing with ghosts. And I say competing with ghosts as in like you might be in that mind frame that already seen this, already seen that. So now, this guy is sincere, but whatever he's doing might not be effective or hit the same way as it would had you not been through certain things before. And he don't have any ill intentions, to do anything that has happened to you in the past. So now, it's like, well, damn, what can I do to get this woman's attention? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are to that point to where I seen it all. Like, nah, nigga, you have to show me something different. Well, okay, what the fuck is different?
See, and I think too, a lot of women, we don't know when the one that's being for real is being for real, because you have to keep in mind, every guy that came our way was sincere in the beginning, loving, showed us attention, showed us affection. It wasn't until at a certain point in a relationship where we started to see the true colors, or we started to open our eyes and pay attention to the red flags. So it's really hard when you have a guy who has no ill will intentions. He just want to do right by you, but it's like it's so hard to separate him from the bad guys, because they all started out good. I don't know a woman who was getting disrespected and decided to pursue a relationship with that person, to a certain extent. Like, I just feel like that's definitely gonna be an issue. I think that's gonna be something that I'm going to have a problem with, because I automatically feel as though every guy that comes my way has some type of ill will intention with me, just based off of my past. And I try my hardest not to take it out on every man that comes my way, but it's really, really hard when I've been into so many failed relationships.
So I've kind of been in that situation a couple years ago, just dating this woman, and it absolutely felt that way, and it kind of pushed me away, made me want to do a little less, because it felt like, I felt like I'm giving this sincere effort to show this woman that I'm attracted to her. I have, good intentions, and I want something with her, but it just felt like, oh, niggas say that all the time. Niggas do this all the time. Niggas, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I'm not niggas, but it's hard to, make that, I guess, believable until you, I guess, get to that point. But I do think, we should all start out on that clean slate. Like I shouldn't have to, and I think that can
suffer from things that's going on in her past. Yeah.
Right. That can be for the most part, not saying you, because I think you're probably there because you've been, out the dating game for a little while, as you said. But that could be a part of healing too. Like some of those people probably aren't healed because they are still holding, those particular, I guess, things or instances,
trauma,
right, and bringing it to you.
Yeah.
So what are some of Aisha's deal breakers?
Ooh, deal breakers. So I have children.
Mm-hmm.
So if you mention to me that you have children and you're not in your children's life, that's definitely a deal breaker for me. I feel like in 2021, I'm not accepting, I got this going on with my baby mama and all this. I'm not really going for that, because there are ways you can take care of your children without having to be, deal with your baby mama.
Right.
Go to, like I tell my little brothers, listen, go get a box, fill it up with things that you feel like your child is going to need: shoes, clothes, whether it be Pampers, baby wipes, toys, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Fill that box up with what you feel like your child needs, and your child need to get a box like that every 2 weeks or every month, however much is in there. So I just feel like I'm not dealing with no man who's not in their child's life. I'm not taking no excuses. I don't even care if you are on child support. I'm not taking no excuses as far as why you're not in your child's life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with liars. I feel a lot of guys in my past have lied to me to try to impress me, but the lies come back on them. So I'm not dealing with liars. Cheating, I don't want nobody with that type of energy around me.
So they can't have cheated in the past?
No, not necessarily in the past, but you can't like have that same type. You can't be with that same type of behavior now.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I need somebody that can hold a conversation with me outside of the norm. I'm a podcaster. I like to talk. I talk for a living. So I need you to be able to hold a intellectual conversation with me. So like, okay, on the first date, if you mention my body, or if you mention sex more than once, more than twice, that's a deal breaker for me. Like, I pay attention to the things that you choose to talk about. We have so much stuff going on in the news, so much stuff going on in our home city, so much stuff. It's just too much going on around us for your main concern to be my body, something sexual related, what you want to do to me. I'm gonna give you 2 times to compliment me. And after that, I need you to find something else to talk about. So I just don't have no patience for that type of behavior. Like, if the sex is gonna come, it's gonna come. Like, you can't fuck me unless I allow you to. So if it's gonna come, it's gonna come. I just don't need you to be trying to rush that.
Okay.
Don't be trying to rush that. Also, I don't have the patience to try to raise nobody's son. I got my own sons I'm trying to raise. So there are a lot of rules, unspoken rules within men that I just so happen, because I'm nosy and I like to talk, I have these guys tell me some of these rules.
Let's hear this.
So like, okay, so where you sit in a restaurant, some guys, they supposed to sit in certain seats so they can keep an eye on what's coming and going in and out the door. That's more of a protective technique or whatever that I learned from men. So I monitor where you sit in a restaurant.
I get that.
If we get to the point where we're coming back over to one another's house and we chilling, laid up in the bed watching TV, I monitor what side of the bed you lay on, because I'm a woman and I want to feel protected. And if I don't feel that, that's a deal breaker for me, because that's what I look for when it comes to a man that I want to deal with.
Okay.
So I got a list of them. They not really like exaggerant, but those are my basics. Okay, those are my basics. Don't cheat. Be mindful what you talk about. I monitor where you sit. Those are just the basics, which like should be on every woman's list.
All right, so you tired of hearing you're the most beautiful woman in the world. That can get
Man, listen,
wild, right?
it ain't even that I'm tired of hearing it. It's just
Uh-huh.
that I had you sitting outside 5-10 minutes because I was getting this together. So I know I look good. I know I look good. Like,
Okay.
so I'm only gonna give you 2 times to compliment me. Like,
Uh-huh.
you can't tell me I'm pretty no other way. Like, it sound the same after a certain amount of time. It's just all sound the same. So
Mhm.
don't tell me that. And I even say, hey, look, don't compliment me no more.
Mm.
I even say that. And it's not like I'm not trying to be shallow or anything, but I don't know, I just prefer to talk about something other than me. That's
I
all.
get that. I get that. I can get in those zones at some time. So the bed thing. I think we can look at that a couple different ways. I don't know.
We have, well, see, like I said, if we get to that point
Yeah.
where we're hanging out, chip, and it's not even necessarily the bed, but I'm just monitoring, I'm monitoring the moves you made.
Hmm.
Are you holding the doors for me?
Mm.
Did you make sure I get in the car first?
That's
Like I'm paying attention
yeah.
to your chivalry. I'm
Yeah.
paying attention to if you're a gentleman. If we walking down the street, who's standing close to the street or who's walking closest to the street? I'm paying attention to things like that. Y'all know women, when we go on dates, we dress for the date. We dress to get cute. We ain't trying to put no, if the jacket don't go with our outfit, we not wearing it. So are you gonna give me your jacket if I get the chill, if I'm, shivering because I'm cold? Like, I pay attention to things like that. Like, I'm probably one of the last women on earth who are going to hold men accountable for being like, I'm gonna make you have to be a man around me.
Okay. So it's funny that you say that because not to, well, any woman that knows me knows this. Though I think those things are kind of like standard basic things. Like I don't feel comfortable with a woman walking on the outside of me, closest to the street. Um, I
But you have
always
some men who they're okay with it. They don't
right.
see, like we just walking. Like, they don't see they don't see nothing wrong with that.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And that's the type of man I don't want. I want the man who, nah, you come walk on this side of me.
Mm-hmm.
Or let me let you in the car first.
Hmm.
Or here, let me get that door for you. That's the type of man that I want. But I'm not gonna find out if you that type of man if I don't give
Right,
you the chance to take me out first. So
right.
those are just the
Absolutely.
things that I look at. Like, I've been on plenty first dates,
Uh-huh.
plenty of first dates. Did you make it to the second date? No.
Have you ever walked out on somebody on a first date?
I've never walked out. I'm not that harsh,
Hmm.
but I have told someone this ain't gonna happen again.
So you've never cut a date short?
Um, mm, I ain't gonna necessarily say I cut it short.
Uh-huh.
I've never cutting a date short because I'm not that harsh. But there's been plenty of times where I should have and I didn't.
Like, hey, can you box this shit up? I'm ready to go.
Like, once you get to talking about your ex-girlfriend and how I look like your ex-girlfriend, that's a wrap. Like, this date is pretty much over. I just want to make sure that you pay for the meal,
Mhm.
and then I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's one thing I do. I don't know if it's just something I do, and I feel like I like look at the way women want to be hugged too. Like, don't come under me. Like, I gotta be under you. I gotta get the body. Me as a man, that's like when I hug a woman, I want your body. Like, I want to hug your body. I want to pull you in and hold you tight.
So
Like,
she has to hug you around your neck.
yeah, her arms got to be
Okay.
around the shoulder area of the neck. Like, I look at shit like that. And I even say something. I'm
Okay.
like, nah, you don't know how to hug. Like, you gotta let me get in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a dominant thing. I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like I gotta pull you in, give you that little squeeze and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
So I hug both ways,
uh-huh.
but my hugs are, if I'm hugging you around your neck,
Mm-hmm.
that's for you. That's for you. That I'm hugging you for you. If
Okay.
I hug you around your body, that's for me. Um, and I don't know, it's an emotional thing with me. So, like, I hardly ever hug around the body.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I just hardly ever hug around the body. But when I do, I'm going through something and I just need, I don't know, I just need to hug you up around your body.
Okay.
It's hard to explain because these are things that I'm just now starting to pay attention to.
No, I get it.
But I hug both ways, but like, okay, so if a guy say give me hug, I'm automatically going around your neck.
Oh,
automatically. Like that's just a given.
You gotta come around my neck. If not,
that's just a given.
You gotta stop.
But if I say give me hug, like if I need the hug, I think I'm more so going around the body.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's just it's kind of, it's not really hard to explain, but it's one of those situations I can't really explain.
No, I gotta get in there. I gotta bring that close to me. I want to feel everything pressed against me. I want to get a little tight squeeze, you know. But yeah, I don't know if my deal breakers are that extensive. I mean, I have the standard basic ones. Like I don't like smokers. I don't like cigarette smokers. I don't like I said, you gotta be able to hold a conversation with me. I don't mind kids, but I do look at how I guess you move, you know, as a mother. I'm really not in the mind frame that I want more children.
You have a grandchild.
I know.
You have a child.
I think I'm about 98.5% sure I don't want more kids. So I think there's a 1.5% chance that a woman could come into my life and just make me feel like, you know what, me and this woman need to have a child together. For the longest I've said, you know, the woman I settle down with and get married with, I want to have a child with and raise that child the traditional way, mom, dad in the house together, you know, all the other good stuff. But I think that time has gone, that ship has sailed. So I hate to have that as a disqualifier, but I need her to understand, like, hey, Reggie he's probably not gonna give you a child. Like, it's gonna take some circumstances. Like, God gonna have to like part the clouds. I'm like, my nigga, you need to like give her a baby. And besides the fact I had a vasectomy too, so like we gonna have to like really talk that over. And
you can't even make no more kids.
I can't, but I mean it's reversible. But
so, but no, you did it for a reason. So
I absolutely did.
Yeah. Just don't leave that way it said. You need to let them know. Look,
right.
If you're looking for babies, this ain't the factory you need to be trying to operate. Period.
But but that's a disclaimer though. Like I said, I'll let them know I'm that's what I'm not looking for. But could it happen?
Okay, so I definitely see what you're saying as far as she could be the one to make you want to reverse it. I get it. Yeah.
But this is just not like, and I hate, like I said, I hate for that to be a disclaimer, like a woman that wants more children, like
or a deal breaker.
Right. Yeah, you gotta see where I'm coming from. I'll see where you coming from. Some other things, I don't know. I think for the most part, I would like for a woman to be self-sustained without me. I know if you can take care of yourself and handle things without me, I know you're an addition. Like we can form an empire together. I don't have to worry about if something happens to me, I get hurt, I'm down and out, the ship is going to sink. Like that I guess that's a comfort level for me as well. Like damn, if something ain't going right, they can hold it down, like, you know, while I'm down and out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the big things. I've dealt with too many women to where things have happened.
They were too dependent.
Yeah, a big bill is hit. My engine blew in my car years back, and I had to drop like 58 on it. And then next thing I know, we struggling until, you know, I, you know, build up enough, you know, money just to, you know, okay, we're comfortable again. And, you know, that was some of the worst like days of my life, you know. And you know, us as men, we hold a lot of shit in. We don't like to, you know, talk about a lot of, you know, things like that, you know, because a lot of us want to be a provider. And when we are struggling providing, that shit hits you real hard, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, those are some of my deal breakers. I don't, I guess, have a lot, I mean, as far as it's extensive, but I understand where you come from as far as in a woman, because there's the dating pool, I think, is a lot smaller for y'all, as far as in what y'all looking for, because there's so much more that we're, I guess, I hate to say this, but like so much more that we're putting on men to be for women than we're putting on women to be for men. You know,
the dating pool for me is definitely small because you have to keep in mind I'm a package deal. I come with children, and so it's definitely smaller for me because now not only am I asking you to commit to me, but I have children that I'm asking you to commit to too. And there's not a whole lot of men that's willing to do the right thing by somebody else's kids, or come into a situation with a woman with kids and take on that responsibility. Right. So the dating pool for me is extremely small, which is one of the reasons why I've kind of grown to just be okay by myself, because I have to accept the fact that I may not run into the man that want to come in here with his stepdaddy license. Right. So I might have to drive this bus by myself, and I have no problem with that. I'm okay with that. But at the same time, the dating pool for me is definitely small in my area. Now, I'm sure I could probably come to Atlanta or Georgia tomorrow and find somebody that may be interested in me, but I'm not in Georgia. So,
and I hear that a lot. I do have friends, and they say like, during breakups or anything, a nigga tell them like, ain't nobody gonna want you anyway because you got kids, you got 2 different baby fathers. And I think that's like some of the dumbest shit ever. Like that I hear. I'm like, niggas are really telling y'all that? Like, it's niggas out here that's wifing women that has multiple, kids, multiple baby daddies. Like, that's not as far as in guys, I know that's not the biggest setback or thing that's going to stop anybody from talking to you. So I don't get it. And I think that speaks on that man's maturity and his security level too within himself, like to even think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, she gonna find somebody.
Yeah. So just to touch on what you just said there, when a man is hurt, when he thought he had control of a woman, saying things like that, oh, ain't nobody gonna want you and ain't nobody gonna love you like I loved you. Those are more so tactics to try to brainwash us to not want to be with nobody else but that person.
Okay.
I've dealt with that in the past, but I've also I've kind of built a shield to kind of protect me from comments like that. But I've dealt with that in the past from my children's father, who, when he would get mad when things don't go his way, and he would just say some of the craziest things. He would do some of the craziest things in attempts to get me back, but it was all toxic. And back then when this took place, I didn't know the term was toxic. I didn't know that that's what that was. I thought that was just his way of showing some type of love for me. But now that I look back, I would never put up with that again. And I've built these walls to protect myself from dealing with something like that. So yeah, men who make comments like that, you will never find nobody like me, or ain't nobody gonna love you like I do, or ain't nobody gonna take care of you and all this. Now, those are just toxic tactics that men are using when they are hurt, like but hurt. And they're just trying to brainwash you to believe that he is the only one for you.
Okay. All right. So for you, a woman that I guess you're open dating because you're not committed. You can go out with Reggie today and Mike tomorrow and whoever else the next day if you want to, just whether you're having sex or not.
So I am currently, because of COVID, I'm not dating. Okay. But if a guy say, hey, I want to Zoom call you and order you some food, and let's just kind of chill on Zoom, I'm open for it. Am I open dating? I'll only open date if I'm just 100% not interested in the person that I'm dating. Like, if I was to go out on a date with you, Reggie, and it's just not there for me, then I would probably go out on a date with somebody else if I was invited to. But I've never been the type. I've never open dated before. Anytime I pursued someone, I needed to know for sure that wasn't going to work for me before I decided to try to pursue something with somebody else. Only because I don't want you open dating with me.
Okay.
I want all the attention on me. So I don't want to hear that, oh, well, I'm going out on a date with somebody else. Because then that'll make me think, well, damn, did any sparks fly with us? Or, so, so I'm not the type to open date, but I'm also more secure with myself now than I was before. So I've had textual conversations, TEXT, textual conversations with multiple guys, but never to the point where I was quote unquote being courted by multiple people at the same time.
All right. So with that, what is the incentive for a nigga to wife you for you to give up your singleness, because you can have sex when you want, if you want. You don't have to worry about, I mean, you can pay your own bills, you can hold everything down yourself. So what is the incentive for you getting married? What is this man I guess need to bring to the table, or you can give this man?
So for a man to take me off the market.
Yeah.
So I'm an emotional person. I don't care much for the materialistic. Okay. So for a man to come right now and take me off the market, he would definitely have to display a form of masculinity that I'm not used to.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is he don't have to be perfect, but like his puzzle pieces just match so much with mine. I need somebody that's understanding. I need somebody that's caring. I need somebody that's funny. I need somebody who is who can, I just need that person that's perfect for me. And I need you to be a man of men. Like, I need you to carry all the aspects of a man. I need you to see that my trash can is overflowing. And I need you to either go have a talk with my son. Hey, what's going on with the trash can? Or I need you to take the initiative to take the trash out. Okay. So it's like the guy that can take me off the market is a man. Okay.
So that's the incentive you need. You're not worried about the bills and all this other stuff he can do. That's the bonus. That's the bonus.
That's a bonus because I'm already paying my own bills. So anything you come in with is just extra. So I'm not looking for no man to step in and start paying my bills right off the bat. I'm not looking for that. Right.
So I guess the incentive for you would be
everything that money can't buy.
Having a man's presence in the house and a companion.
Yeah.
Because those are the only things that you're not necessarily, that you can't provide yourself.
Right. And that's basically what I need for. I need a man for the things that I can't provide myself. So being single all this time, I've adapted this masculine energy that I've been living with for so long. So I need a man to come in and make me feel like a woman again. If that makes sense.
I like that. I like that.
I need you to make me feel like a woman again. I have unconditional love for my children. Oh my God, my kids love my dirty socks. Like I have that from my children, but it's a different kind of love and a different kind of connection that I need from a man that my children cannot provide. And I'm not expecting them to try to provide that either. So when it comes to the man that could take me off the market, I need you to make me feel like a woman again.
Okay.
So it's just a certain feeling that a man give a woman that makes her tap into her feminine energy. And that's what I need. Because right now, you gonna get this real nigga in a skirt. Like, I've been doing this shit for so long that my feminine energy has just been put on the back burner.
I like that. I like the answer.
Thank you.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Far as in the insensitive part, because I think we look at the other things and put so much value into all those other things, like, can he pay my bills? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? Or even when we want to talk about women, if I was to say, okay, look, baby girl, I know how to cook. I've been cleaning my, house and clothes and everything else for the last 3 or 4 years. Because there are certain things that we say, okay, a woman is supposed to do. Well, your grandparents will tell you, if let's say your granddad came in the house or your grandma came in the house and someone's broke, she would be like, baby, you need a man to come in here and blah, blah, blah. You like, no, I don't need a man. I can go on YouTube and fix that shit myself. You know what I'm saying? Or, for me, example, if my room wasn't clean, my mom or my grandma might come in here and like, baby, where your women at? You ain't got no woman to come clean this. Mom, I can clean this myself. Like,
right.
Those are the sentences. So I think for the most part, like you said, if for a woman, for me, it's going to be someone that I can be vulnerable with. I can, tell those things that I don't necessarily talk to my homeboys about, or, just have that person that I can vent to. I can wake up, in the morning and, have them hug. Cause I'm not gonna lie. Some nights I'll be sitting here like, damn, I just want somebody, to cuddle with tonight,
just a warm body beside you. Yeah.
Right. I'm not looking for those other things. I mean, she don't necessarily, to me, she ain't even gotta be Betty Crocker in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? If you can tap into me in other ways, you know what I'm saying, like that I can't do for myself, then that's perfect for me.
Yeah.
Along with, like I said, be able to take care of yourself outside of me. Like I want to feel like you want me, you don't need me. You know what I'm saying?
That's and see, and I think from a woman's perspective, it's more so so like for me, example, for to add on to my answer, because you said something about being able to fix things. If you come into my situation knowing how to fix things, that's a plus. If you know how to climb up under a car and change an oil, change a tire, fix a hole in the wall, hang some pictures, that shit is a plus. Like I'm what a man of all men just turns me on. So anything that a man does that he's supposed to do, those unspoken things that just supposed to be done by men, that's what turns me on. I've been paying my own bills for a long time. I ain't never had a man pay my bills. So that's not something I'm looking for. I would love to be at home and be a stay-at-home mom. I would love to be able to, my only responsibility is to tend to the kids, make sure the house clean, wash it, wash the dishes. And, I would love to be a stay-at-home mom, but I've been having to do the man's part in my household for so long that I've just grown attached to stacking my own bank account. So I let any man know you getting me bossed up. You're not getting me needing you financially. I'm not one of these women who's gonna automatically come with her hand out, so it's like I'm not looking for that, because the same way I got you is the way I'm gonna leave, is the way I'm gonna lose you. And if you come in and I'm expecting money all this time, and you'll give it to me in the beginning, but I'm gonna be gone once you decide that you can't give it to me no more. So
exactly.
So I don't want to build no foundation off of what you can do for me materialistically. I want to build the foundation off on how you make me feel. I've been single for a long time, so there are a lot of feelings and emotions that I lack because I haven't had a reason to feel them, or I haven't had a reason to utilize them. I don't utilize affection on a daily basis because I don't have nobody here to be affectionate with, and I'm not talking about my children. I'm talking about somebody more so on my level. So it's like, I want to feel like a woman again. I want to roll over and kiss somebody in the mouth with this morning breath. I want to feel like I want to be the little spoon. I haven't been the little spoon in a long time. I want to be the little spoon. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a man who's going to come in and make me feel like a woman again. We'll work out whatever bills we're going to split down the middle. We'll work that shit out later. But that's what I'm looking for when it comes to a man. I need a man.
Okay.
A man, period.
One thing I struggle with that you said, as far as in the things that men are supposed to do. And the only reason why is because I realize, like, the time and generation we live in. I think there are a lot more men that are being raised to not be handyman or I guess men like that. Like I don't have I can do like the basic things, putting up a ceiling fan, fixing things around the house, do this other stuff. I'm not a car guy. Like I can do like some basic things, you know what I'm saying? But I can take that motherfucker to
the love of your life right now is sitting on the side of the highway with a flat tire, boy. You better learn how to change a tire.
No, I can change. Yeah, I can change your tire. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, so I read this thing the other day. Like, this one was like, real men know how to change oil and all this other stuff. Well, I mean, you might have a doctor that he knows how to do open heart surgery, but he can't change no oil. But that don't necessarily make him, not quote unquote not a real man. But I mean, I get what you're saying, where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I have this friend guy who does like all of my necessary house things. So if I need something done in my house, I have this one friend guy that I call, and
Is that the maintenance man?
no, it is not the maintenance man. But whatever the case may be, he makes it his business to involve my son. I have a 13-year-old
Okay.
son. So for example, the last time he was here, he put together one of my IKEA tables, okay? A big kitchen table. He put the table together, and he made it his business, he was like, you need to be down here doing this table by yourself, but I'm gonna help you because I'm here. So, like, he involves my son. And so I definitely understand what you're saying as far as like men not being groomed to know how to do those handyman type things. And that's because they lack the fathers and the grandfathers that did. We don't have carpenters anymore, or not brick masons. We don't have them anymore. They building these houses with these plastic sidings now, so
Legos.
we lack that from the beginning, because those men weren't even allowed in the homes, once the government started giving us single mothers, these housing, those type of men was forced to leave the home. So black men are already set back and put at a disadvantage when it comes to learning these trades, because they don't have that foundation of the father being able to teach them. Okay.
That was
so
No, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, so that's what I was saying. So like when my guy friend comes over, I really applaud him for including my son in these things. Now, the issue that occurs is my son want to take the initiative to fix some things on his own without him being here. And I really should stop doing this, but I be doubting his ability to do it right.
Okay.
So I'll just go ahead and do it instead of asking my son to do it. And that's one of the issues that I have. But had I had a man in the house who could oversee, the little quote unquote said project, then I would feel a whole lot better. But like if some doorknobs is coming to loose, instead of just asking my son to do it because I'm scared he gonna get it wrong, I'll just go ahead and fix it myself. And I shouldn't be like that. That's one of the ways that I'm crippling my son, and I really need to work on that. But that's a whole nother, conversation.
That's a good segue. So with that, as far as I guess the black man being taken out and everything. So does that make, I guess, it a little harder for black women to be submissive? Because like we talked about in pre-production, there was a comment made that the black woman is like, I guess, the only one that you really have to prove dominance or prove that you're an alpha male or prove that you're a leader of the pack or whatever else in order for them to be submissive.
So when it comes to submitting, okay, so are you familiar with the yin and yang, the feminine and masculine? Okay, so what has happened is the second they started taking a black man out of the household, right? All the responsibilities that was divided amongst the man and the woman has now becomes the woman's responsibility. Okay. So in my case, I've been raising children and maintaining my household by myself. So I am the dominance in my house. Okay. And where my issue comes in is that that's not a light switch that I could cut on and off. So I would have to let my, whoever is deciding to court me, I would have to let them know it's gonna take some time for me to be able to submit, because I'm not used to handing over these responsibilities to someone else. So like I've been paying my own bills. I make sure that the bills get paid. So if the lights get cut off, I know that that's my fault.
Right. Okay.
So that's a huge responsibility to give to somebody else when you've been doing it for so long, so it's not that it's hard for black women to submit. It's just that it's going to take us time to tap into that feminine energy to where we will allow ourselves to submit, because as a black woman, we're not just going to submit to anybody. You have to be worthy of being submitted to. If that does that make sense? Like, I'm not just going to submit to any man just because they a man. No, you need to show me you're right. y'all do have to prove dominance because you have to show me that you're worth submitting to. Is that a bad thing though?
So I don't know, and the reason why I say that is because I don't necessarily date outside my race. So I guess the statement was revolved around like, okay, if this woman is interested in you, I guess whether it's a white woman, an Asian woman, Hispanic woman, or whatever else, they're already somewhat, I guess, going to let you be the man. They're going to be submissive to you. I guess if y'all go out to eat, you know what I'm saying, just I guess doing certain things, or you know, if y'all ride in the car and you got some food, and she's going to pull the whatever out the bag and you know unwrap it and you know and feed it to you, whatever else. I guess I don't know. It was the conversation was kind of here and there, but now that you say that, I guess because I've never really dated outside my race, so I couldn't tell.
Okay, so let's just focus on our race then. As a Black man, do you feel some type of way of having to display your dominance or display that you're that type of man in order for a woman to submit to you?
Not necessarily, and I think that's because I guess what I tend to attract or what I want to attract, because you know, when you get me, you already know, okay, Reggie has his own car. Hell, Reggie got 2 cars. Reggie has a roof over his head. Reggie don't need you to, you know, so Reggie's single. He does most things, you know, by himself. So it's not a lot. So I think women are a little more willing to be submissive when they know, you know, you have some things going for yourself versus not knowing. And then I got to figure this guy out, because I like to think that I'm an open book outside of, you know, the mental stuff, because all that stuff don't necessarily come out like right away. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it's the package that you present or the image you give, like from the beginning, that I guess makes them a little more comfortable and more willing to submit. It's like for you, if you was actually dating a guy, okay, and he had his own house, he had a car, a business, or some, you know, some other stuff, you'd be like, oh, I don't know, this nigga seems like he's a little put together. You might be a little more willing to submit versus, okay, this guy, he came to the house and you know, he was in an Uber. And then you like, oh, what's going on? Oh, well, I was, you know, I Ubered over here. You know, we can ride from here to your place, or, you know what I'm saying? Or y'all met at the restaurant and he called an Uber, and y'all go outside the restaurant and you're like, he's like, okay, I'm gonna walk you to the car. And he walked you to the car, and then, you know, you driving off, and next thing you know, you see him at the corner, you know, waiting on his Uber to show up. You might, oh no, you know what I'm saying? You might be a little less, you know, ready to submit to this man, because you like, okay, I gotta, I don't know, like my comfort level is not where it should be right now, as far as how he's put together.
Listening to you, I was just sitting here thinking that I feel like when it comes to submitting to a man, I don't even necessarily think that that's something that y'all have to put on display. I feel like a real alpha man, his presence is going to be known immediately. Like you could tell by a way a man walk, a way he talk, the way he carry himself, that, you know, he that nigga, quote unquote. Like you could kind of feel that vibe and feel that energy off of him just by, you know, watching how he carry himself, how he talk, how he presents himself, things like that. So I don't necessarily feel like it's something that you guys will have to display, because I feel like that's just natural in a dominant man, period. You know, I feel like I'm sitting here thinking about a friend of mine and how he's a very dominant alpha male, and it's like he didn't have to display it. He didn't have to do anything extra. You just knew as soon as this man walked in the room, all eyes was on him.
Well, so let me stop you. Let me stop you real quick. A lot of these quote unquote street niggas are alpha men too. No,
they're not.
But don't have a lot going for themselves. I saw
no, they're not.
But no, a lot of them are. A lot of them walk in the room and it demands attention. They might even be alpha male among other men, you know, because a lot of alpha male, you know, men are not alpha men among other alpha men. But some of these dudes are like they the big homies on the block. You know what I'm saying?
That's my biggest fear.
But they might not have, you know what I'm saying? They might be house to house or not having all this shit going on for themselves. But so I mean, you can meet that dude, but like I said, if he don't have XYZ going off himself, you might be a little less, willing to be submissive to him.
So you're saying having a car makes you alpha dominance, having
No.
the basic necessities. Like, I don't feel like
No.
an alpha male is required, or I'm not gonna say required, but I don't think your material possessions make you quote unquote alpha or makes you dominant.
No, I'm not saying that. So he can be a beta, but he can have a lot going for himself, a lot, and be more put together, which will make you want to be a little more submissive to him because okay, I have some comfort. I've dated guys that after I started dating them, they was looking for a home or they was looking for a ride or this or that. No, what his possessions don't make him alpha or beta. Like I said, he can actually be a total beta man, but and necessarily not because okay, he can be in a big city where he don't need a car, because there's a bunch of cities like that. So I mean, just far as in his presentation, what he has, what he's doing for himself, he's not an aspiring rapper, and you're like, all right, baby, I understand you trying to hustle and get this rap career started, but you know what I'm saying? Like we got some bills to pay, you know what I'm saying? So you might feel like, okay, I might need to be a little more alpha myself and take over these certain roles because his aspiring rap career ain't doing the job for us. So you probably a little less willing to submit to him because you already have in your mind like, okay, I'm doing a little more than what I should be doing, because I got a man in the house and he ain't holding it down like he should be.
Yeah. So that makes a little bit more sense. That submission topic though, it's one, it's a whole, like I said, that's something that's a whole nother topic that we could really dive deep into it.
Right.
I'm an alpha woman, right? I don't want to be an alpha woman. I want to be at that place where I can submit, but at the same time, if you're not presenting a package for me to submit to, if you're not presenting an energy for me to submit to, then I'm not going to do it. But at the same time, a lot of women will still pursue relationships with men that they don't submit to, and they get the downgrading and disrespecting that man, and that creates a whole nother problem. So it's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with someone where I feel like I have that over them. I don't want that. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who don't have at least as much as I do, or is not striving to get as much as I do, because I feel like the alpha in me will hold it over you. Why you always need my car? When you gonna get out here and get your own car? Or like, I don't want to be put in that space. And it's so easy to be put in that space where you can just kind of hold it over somebody's head. Because when a man is not trying, that will frustrate the hell out of somebody. Let me speak for me. It'll frustrate the hell out of me if I'm getting up every day, going to work to make sure the bills is paid, and you're not even trying to find a job. If I'm shooting you all these different job postings that's hiring, and you're not attempting to apply, that will frustrate me. And that's what I dealt with in my past. So I'm not dealing with that now, so when it comes to the whole alpha, beta, dominant, submissive, that's a whole genre within itself, because we're talking about a different caliber of man and a different caliber of woman. I was forced to be an alpha. I was forced to start using my dominant and masculine energy. I was forced to, because I was put in a position where I had to do everything myself. So it's like, it's just it depends on who you talking to when it comes to that whole dominance and submissive. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole lot. It's a whole nother topic.
I got one last thing for you. Can you see yourself with a beta man that is bringing to the table the same thing that you are? Or is it the simple fact that you might be a little scared or apprehensive because you feel like you might run over him because he's beta?
I can't, because when it comes to the man that I see myself with, um I don't want to be with no man who would even allow me to quote unquote run over them. I don't want to be with nobody like that. I have to be like, my personality won't allow me to be with nobody like that. Now, I don't know. I can't even answer that, because a lot when it comes to beta and alpha, it's all in how you break it down. Because it's a lot of alpha men. It's a lot of men out here who carry the title quote unquote alpha, and they not even alpha. They just alphas around the people that they're around, but they not alphas. Like, they're not alphas. They just alphas in a group of a bunch of beta men, but they're not alphas amongst alphas. So it really just depends. Like, I would have to actually see a beta man in front. Nope. I got somebody that's texting me he want me to believe he's an alpha, but he's really a beta. And I say that he's a beta because, like, when we be playing tit for tat at work, he'll let me.
Oh, work, babe.
It's like he one of the ones that always let me win.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily saying that he's a beta, but it's kind of hard to explain if you didn't really experience what I've experienced. He's a beta, but I actually could see myself being with him, because it's not about the dominance or submissive. It's the affection and the attention that he show me.
Your partner might be beta.
But what's preventing me from pursuing a relationship with him is he don't have his own place.
Oh, wow.
So, that within itself that it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's definitely a crack. It's a crack. So
hard out here for a player. But listen, I have enjoyed you. I really enjoyed you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. This is the third time, 2 times on yours, 1 on mine. Conversation just flows natural with you, and I love it. It's not even a struggle to actually, talk with you and do a show. Very easy. But yes, let the people know who you are again, how they can find you, and all that good stuff.
Right. So I am Aisha Hadiya. I am the host of the Coffee and Apple Juice podcast. We are on Instagram as well as Facebook, Coffee Apple Juice. My personal Instagram is I am Aisha Hadiya, and it's Aisha Hadiya on Facebook as well. Definitely check out our episodes, or check out my podcast. What y'all got here is what y'all get on my show. Like, this what y'all get. So
yes, definitely check out. I've plugged you a couple times on my and I think you have a dope platform. I love your show.
Thank you.
I listen to it. Actually, I am subscribed to you, so I get your notifications when they pop up. I do.
Thank you.
Gonna put everything in the description for everybody that didn't catch it or don't know how to spell Aisha Hadiya. Yes, but I'd like to thank everybody that just tuning in, that's gonna watch us and listen. All my day one listeners and subscribers, all the new everybody, the guys that helped me out with my merch, the actual visuals and everything. Y'all like, subscribe, share, like more than anything, because like I said last week, it puts us in different algorithms, and that means more to us than anything, because if we can reach a different audience, or a wider spread base, that means a lot. It might not be something that you're particularly into, but the next person next to you might be into it, so you might introduce them to something new. I think our friends, the people that we look to the most have a big issue with that, as far as in just spreading the word. Hey, if you don't,
that's a whole nother conversation, Reggie. Don't even go there.
The podcast,
because your biggest supporter don't even know your name.
Right.
But we ain't gonna go there.
Yes.
We ain't gonna go there.
But Thank you, everybody. Once again, I'm Reggie. This is Unapologetic Podcast. We're unfiltered, and we will see y'all. I don't even know if it's gonna be next week because this is like a special episode, but we'll see y'all when you see y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
You know what it is. Thanks for listening to another episode of Unapologetic, the podcast. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Better follow me.